9:02 in Ukraine. Hello. News time on the air of the nationwide marathon. My name is Olga Butko. More than 170 shells from the Grad anti-aircraft missile system were fired in the Dnipropetrovsk region this night. The enemy shelled the city of Nikopol, Chervonogorivsky and Magnus districts. The head of the Dnipropetrovsk Regional Military Administration, Valentin Reznichenko, reported damaged houses, shop, kindergarten. The power plant was also destroyed. The light disappeared in almost 3,000 houses. Mykolaiv was also shelled. After one night, Russian rockets hit the city. According to the mayor of Mykolaiv, Alexander Sinkovich, residential buildings were destroyed here and the water supply network was damaged. Repair crews and utility workers are working at the site of the shelling. There were also explosions in Odesa. In the morning, the city was attacked by enemy kamikaze drones. According to the report of the South Operational Command, the enemy hit the administrative building in the center of the city. The rescue operation and fire extinguishing are ongoing. One of the drones was shot down by air defense forces.
Yes, the drone went downhill. Now there will be an explosion. Oops. I personally think it may have something to do with the grain initiative. Because the first attack was in the port area. The enemy changes tactics. But we can talk about the fact that their ammunition of cruise missiles is decreasing. The enemy used them to attack Odesa region until now.
There were 4 drones in the sky. One of them was shot down by air defense forces, and 3 hit the administration building in the middle of the city. Russia launched a massive missile attack on Zaporizhzhia. According to the head of the military administration, Alexander Staruk, the enemy fired 10 rockets at the city. Currently, it is known about 3 wounded. Infrastructure objects were destroyed. In one of the districts of the city, an electric substation was de-energized. Local telegram channels publish videos of strikes on Zaporizhzhia. The armed forces repelled 6 enemy attacks in Donetsk region. According to the General Staff, the enemy tried to break through the settlements Soledar, Zaitsevo, Novomykhailivka and Pervomyska. The Ukrainians pushed the Russians back. The aviation of the defense forces struck the enemy 26 times, hit 20 areas of manpower and military equipment of the Russians. The headman of the village of Yakovenkovo near Balaklia was beaten for his pro-Ukrainian position and threatened with execution. The Ukrainian army was one of the first to liberate the village, although the Russians convinced the locals that they were there forever. And some believed them. What is the mood of the population now and where did the collaborators go? See.
Oleg lives in Yakovenkovo, a village near Balaklia. He receives humanitarian aid for the first time. During the occupation, the man almost did not leave the house, he fed on his own supplies. I did not communicate with Russians and collaborators at all. I tried to avoid them. Why? Because Ukraine is and will be. He did not doubt for a moment that the Russians were in Yakovenkovo temporarily. There were terrible explosions. Everything was terrible. And when I saw the Ukrainian flag, even tears appeared in my eyes. Did I wait for them? I was somehow sure that they would come, and I waited for them. The Ukrainian military entered Yakovenkovo along this road. We see traces of heavy tracked machinery. The Russians set up their block post here. It was such a line of defense. Now they are no longer here. Only their garbage remained here. We see cigarettes in Russian. Sweet Rostovka. A video with footage of the Ukrainians entering the village and how they were met by the locals went viral around the world. They entered from the side of Verbivka, where I live. I look, an armored personnel carrier is driving with our flag. I said, "Oh, so ours are going." They came to me first. All I could say was thank you, thank you. I was worried. The head of the village, Ivan Krivonis, tells what he experienced during the occupation. They took away my assistant and my wife. They put a bag on their head. They took him out, put him on his knees. She was shot near the head. They said that they would shoot the knee. He said that someone told him that I was organizing territorial defense. A local collaborator took control of the village. He came to the village council, demanded documents and to remove the flag. They brought us here and gave me instructions to destroy the file of military records. We destroyed it and they did not believe. They came and watched. And the flag. I told him that I will not remove the flag. The flag hung in our country until about the middle of April. Natalka also tells her story. They also came to her with threats and searches.
Employees of the FSB of Russia came to us. Everyone was in uniform. There were about 15 of them. The first question was, at first, 2 cars drove up. A minibus and 1 large car. They drove up and immediately approached us with automatic weapons. Are you making lists here and inciting against the Russians?
Natalka says that after what she experienced, she could not contain her emotions when she saw the Ukrainian military.
I cannot tell you how happy I was. We were sitting in the kitchen. I looked out the window. Our soldiers are coming. They were wearing blue bandages. I didn't even believe it. I had many tears. Then our tanks came. I cannot explain what a great joy it was. I still have a lump in my throat. We met them. They brought them food, but they refused. We were ready to do everything, in gratitude.
Yakovenkovo was one of the first to be released during the Ukrainian counteroffensive. Collaborators ran with the Russians and left everything they could not take with them. From the Kharkiv region, Oleg Reshetnyak, Volodymyr Setyuk and Yevgen Smirnov, TV channel Rada, nationwide Jedini Marathon.
In Ukraine, the number of Ukrainian speakers has increased dramatically. According to the rating sociological group, before the war, 54% of citizens spoke Ukrainian. Now this figure is 64%. It is noted that residents of the south and east of our country, in particular, immigrants, began to use Ukrainian more often. Free Ukrainian language courses have started in Irpin, and among the students there are both local residents and immigrants. Some of the program is difficult for them, some is easy. For example, tongue twisters. Victoria Prokopchuk was at classes. Ukrainian language teacher Lyudmila spreads sheets on the table. They have tasks for her students.